actually. I've got some notes here. You know, it's very rare for me to admit that I take inspiration from anyone in Washington, D.C., but thankfully Senator Rand Paul is not from Washington, D.C. Just 6 years ago, he was an eye surgeon in Kentucky who decided to take a stand against the big spending and in the Republican Party, we often do a pretty good job of standing up for the Second Amendment, but that's not enough. If we are to be for the Constitution, then we need to be for the entire Bill of Rights. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, all of them, 1 through 10. And as the one true defender of the Constitution, he is also the only candidate faithful to one of the other most basic principles of conservatism in the Republican Party. Just a very quick show of hands. How many people here today consider themselves fiscal conservatives? Meaning, how many people here today believe that one of the greatest threats to our future, the future of our nation, is the out-of-control spending and the now $18 trillion of national dollars in specific spending cuts and balances in 5 years? He's also proposed the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion back into the pockets of hardworking Americans. Now every candidate, that's part of the Now every candidate will say in vague generalities that they're for cutting spending, but politicians will promise anything. And only Senator Rand Paul has put pen to paper and told us exactly how he would do it. Now, with a record like that, I could easily make the case that Rand Paul is the most fiscally conservative candidate in the race, but I'm going to go one step further. I think even with such a wide field of 17 candidates, I would go so far as to say that Senator Rand Paul is the only fiscal conservative in the race. Not only have we not heard a single solid idea to cut spending and shrink government from any of the other candidates, when we look at those who have policy records, those records aren't very good. As a fiscal conservative, I look at the list of presidential hopefuls, and it is painfully clear that in a field of big spenders, Rand Paul stands alone as the only fiscal conservative with a record